The Terence Higgins Trust Bridge to 2030 garden is really symbolic of the 2030 vision. You'll come across a leaning boulder which is held up by lots of little sticks, and how along the way with the HIV journey, lots of people have had to really come together in order to make the 2030 vision a reality.
This garden and this structure is really all about rainwater harvesting, and it's inspired by the work that WaterAid do with communities all around the world to harvest, capture, collect and store rainwater, which, even in this country is a really precious resource that we shouldn't be wasting.
I hope that the Grief Kind Garden can promote positivity around talking about grief. Grief isn't a positive thing, but talking about it is. And I think any prompt is great, and a prompt in the shape of a garden is even better, because you can sit and you can be really present, and you have to talk about it then.
The whole garden is designed as a nest, so as a safe space. You have a seating space where families can just rest and relax, and then the seating space is circled by different raised beds that have different heights, and this is because this corresponds to the different ages of the kids, so that they can be inside the planting and touch the plants, smell them, without having to go down to the soil or to move too much around.
We started looking at what Penathlon's core objectives are, which are normalising difference, promoting inclusivity, enabling accessibility, creating confidence, promoting mental wellness, and then how can we represent those. So one of the things, for example, is that we do have a path that goes all the way through the garden, and it's designed to be usable. It's designed that a wheelchair user can get through.
Ren had this idea that he wanted clear glass, not stained glass, so that the world could see in and the church could see out. And that's very much about connecting with the communities. The windows, in a sense, are one of the sort of iconic elements of this building. So what we've done is to incorporate one of the windows into the rear wall of our show garden. And the way that the garden is set up at the showground, the public will actually be able to look through the rear of the window as well as from the garden side. So the public will be able to both see in and see out as well.
Awful lot of planting going on, so busy bees, getting the layers of sand and gravel in. This is a landscaper garden of a hot country, but yeah, we're on track, I think.
I think all of those months building like the sculpture and the timber shelter really paid off when we actually got to site, because a lot of it was like prefabricated and we could just slot it into place and then focus on our favourite part, the planting.
Something we've done which I think is really lovely is we've got National Garden Scheme garden owners from around the country to contribute plants to the garden which we're growing on and we're going to plant in the garden. I really do think that when you first see this garden, your heartbeat will go down, your blood pressure will drop, and there'll be a sort of an exhalation, as it were.
We're going to be using 313 species in the garden of plants and fungi, and that is a number that correlates to the number of different tree species that can exist in just 1 hectare of tropical forest.
What my planting team really love me for is that if there's an opportunity for a level change in this garden, we've taken it. Nothing is flat in this garden, which is, provided a challenge for the planters, but they've been up for it. They've definitely done some amazing planting.
Really, some of the main successes that I'm seeing is the members that are coming from Pulp Friction that have come and were really nervous, not wanting to talk initially, that are now approaching members of the public, being very confident, explaining what the garden is, what it's about, what Pulp Friction are about, and we're really starting to see people grow. It's amazing.
It's been absolutely amazing. We've had enormous media coverage, which has been so exciting. We look to restore our gardens at St James's, give it better accessibility, and look to restore the whole site in the coming years.
It's been absolutely amazing experience. Like, the public have just been blown away with the concept, and it's been a real opportunity for us to inspire young people to get into horticulture and see it as a career, and for people to come together for environmental togetherness.
Quite emotional. I don't know whether it's tiredness, but I know that definitely like 90% of that is just amazing feedback that we received from the families, people with one of the muscular dystrophy conditions, and the overall muscular dystrophy community just coming and sharing their experiences and stories. It's been incredible.
So we are at Treble's Botanic Garden, and the Size of Wales garden has been relocated to us here in North West Wales. We're going to be working with students to teach them all about the issues that Size of Wales are raising awareness about. So climate change, deforestation, the importance of forests and of woodlands and of trees.
It's just wonderful that we've managed to create what is a lasting legacy. And not just hundreds but thousands of stroke survivors and their families over the years are going to benefit from this really beautiful but also incredibly therapeutic and tranquil space.
What do I hope this garden's going to be in the future? Well, what I want to see, which is what I'm already seeing, is for our patients, families, staff, volunteers to be able to come out here and find it that quiet space for open and honest conversations about death and dying. They find it very tranquil. It's a quiet space for contemplation and reflection. So it means a lot to all our families, patients, staff and volunteers.